amazing story about how a common medical product given for nutrition can save lives after drug overdoses. Fanny was 72, has arthritis, and needed knee replacement surgery. Baseline blood tests showed no abnormalities and she was cleared. Dr. Carter was the orthopedic surgeon and Dr. Drasnik the anesthesiologist. In the OR, Dr. Drasnik administered bupivacaine, a widely used anesthetic. Fanny was awake and conversant during the procedure, but after a few minutes she became agitated and incoherent. Her blood pressure dropped and she had a tonic-clonic seizure while on the table. A few seconds later, Fanny's ECG flatlined. Her face turned pale gray. She was in cardiac arrest. Dr. Drasnik immediately recognized that this was due to the anesthetic drug and sprung into action. He initiated cardiac compression, then defibrillation. He called for the crash cart. The nurse grabbed the vial of epinephrine, but Dr. Drasnik wanted Intralipid. The surgeon was baffled, but allowed Dr. Drasnik to proceed with the infusion. Within a few minutes, the pulses and ECG signals resumed and her color returned to pink. Fanny was brought back from death. In the scrub room, Dr. Carter and Drasnik were cleaning up. Carter asked Drasnik what had just happened. Dr. Carter knew that Intralipid was a fat emulsion solution widely used at the hospital to treat patients for nutrition containing soybean oil, egg phospholipids, and glycerin. Carter said that what he did was a miracle and wanted to know why it was in the OR. Dr. Drasnik explained that the use of Intralipid as a rescue was discovered accidentally. Scientists were trying to determine how bupivacaine is cardiac toxic. The theory was the accumulation of free fatty acids. Research studies on rats was conducted whereby some were treated with Intralipid and others a placebo prior to bupivacaine dosing. They were expecting toxicity in the treated arm, but instead, the Intralipid rats did better. Dr. Drasnik then said that a colleague had a patient who was in cardiac arrest after bupivacaine similar to their case. The patient did not respond to epinephrine and was dying. Familiar with the Intralipid animal research and desperate, the doctor became the first to successfully demonstrate Intralipid rescue on a human. Dr. Drasnik said that the US Anesthesia Society now recommends that Intralipid be put on all OR crash carts just for these types of emergencies. Dr. Carter then asked how exactly Intralipid works. Drasnik explained the theory. Intralipid binds to fat-soluble drugs, extracting them from tissue sites, providing a means for the removal. Dr. Drasnik had asked the chemistry lab to do a test tube study to see what other drugs could work with Intralipid. They found that the published lipid partition coefficient for each drug, a measure of fat solubility, aligned with their experimental data. Intralipid is inexpensive and available in every hospital. Today, it is on all OR crash carts and can be used for ED overdoses too. Stay tuned for more lab tale stories.